Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this lovely earring. So I did one up already so you could see. These are done with these lovely flower beads, check glass beads. And I got these flowers, in case you're wondering, I got them from Raven's Journey. But I get them as a wholesaler, so she doesn't sell directly to people. I think you could probably get them at most bead stores. I know for sure that both Jill Wiseman and Art Beads sells her stuff. So if you're looking, but the idea with these flowers is you can put anything at the bottom of your chandelier earrings. So if you have some flat flowers, I have some actually. They're hibiscus. So I have a tray that has all the different flowers. I think they call these hibiscus flowers. So you could do that as well. And then there's these ones. But any of these flowers, there's the tiny ones, would work really well. These are like I'm not sure what they call these kind. So you could hang them this way and maybe have something underneath. Some beads. These are lovely with a kind of luster finish on them. So yeah, there you go. So don't limit yourself to what you put on as your hanging part of your earring. I did use a 6mm Preciosa Blue Pearl, and I'm using these gold-plated head pins. In case you're wondering the size, let me get my ruler here. These are, let me start at the beginning. These are 30 millimeter. You don't need the whole thing, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So basically what I do is I do a practice one. So take the bead that I'm going to use it with and pop it on there. I usually take my finger as the example, so I'll kind of hold it like this and then maybe clip it there. Then I do my turn on here, and if it matches, then I know I have the right size. But I save the piece that I cut off, which is this piece here, and then I use it to measure my other ones, and then I know exactly how much to cut off. So sometimes you have to cut a few times. What I tend to do is try and cut less at the beginning, and then when I do my turn, if it's too long, then I'll just cut a little piece off and then continue the turn and then eyeball it to the length that I need. So let me just double check that these are the same length, because they look shorter for some reason. No, they're all 30s, so they should work. So yeah, I will put the link to these chandeliers. They are so beautiful. I bought them like 3 years ago, but I did manage to find the link, so I'll add that. And yeah, and I'll try and find the link for these beautiful ear wires. So you need your ear wires, your chandelier. You need 5 beads that you want to hang on the bottom, and you need a 6mm pearl. And again, you can change what you hang in the middle as well. And then you need 6 head pins. So you need 1 for the pearl and 5 for the dangly bits. So let's go ahead and just try and straighten that out. I am gonna eyeball this. So I'm gonna use my fingernail to hold the spot. That's about there. Get my flush cutters and clip it and hang on to that so it doesn't fly away. And put your bead on. It does seem small, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Get my round nose pliers. I go to the just inside the end and then hold my thumb on there and turn, release, but keep it in the same spot and turn and then go down. So that was plenty of room. Let me just turn this here. I went a little beyond. Okay, so there you are. So now take your round nose pliers and go to the other side that's not been turned and just do a little bit of a 90-degree. You want to have your round loop in the middle of your head pin so that everything is lined up like that. So then we're going to take this and we're going to open this up by just twisting that little piece open and put that directly on there. You could add some jump rings if you wanted to. And then close this up. Make sure it's nice and closed like that. Like that. Simple. So let's do the others. So I always do each one individually. You could take your measurement and cut all of them, but you know, sometimes I've done this. I laugh. It's not funny when you do it and cut them all and then realize the size was not the correct size. So just, you know, do them individually. Some of these components are a little expensive. You don't want to. So I'm using my thumbnail to mark the spot. So just release it a bit. Get my flush nose. And I'm going to keep that one separate. Then go in from the bottom of the flower so that the flower hangs down. Get that in there. And you can hold the head pin with your thumb and kind of pinch it so it doesn't move around. You can grab your round nose and turn, release, and turn, release. Then grab the other side like this. And it's a little 90-degree angle here. Like that. Okay, I'm going to open that up a bit. Pop that on. There. And close this up. And I'm just going to squeeze closed. Make sure it's in there. Yep. Then we grab the next one. And get my measuring tool, my ciphering tool. And I keep the pieces that I cut separate because every time you cut, sometimes you cut a little bit different, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. So you always want to go back to the one that you measured with. If you start cutting a little bit extra each time and you use the previous one that you just cut, you'll end up with a very short one at the end. So let's just turn. So this one, look at that. So there it just proves how that should not be that long. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off and then turn the rest. So I'm going to cut just a teeny tiny bit. That should come off. There. So that's how easy the difference can be. But I'll tell you, this one feels different, like it's not as thick. So it might be a different measurement. So I'm going to do my 90-degree here. That still is too long. I'm going to cut just a teensy bit there. And there, that's how I want it. So I'm going to go to the other side and do my 90-degree. And just make sure everything's where I want it. Open this up. Pop that on. And close this up. Just make sure it's on there. There we go. Two more. Measure that one. Cut that. Okay. Hold that in place. And turn 90 degrees. Straighten this out a bit. And we'll open this up. Get that on there. Make sure that's there. And the final one. Okay. We're almost done. And again, so here you can see it's not the right length. So maybe it's just these head pins are not all the same length. Let's just cut a wee bit off. And turn it. Grab the other side. Do my 90-degree. And I'm going to straighten this out. I can feel the difference in this gauge of head pin, that the ones that I had the problems with the length, they were thinner than the others. So clearly there's something different with these. Just open this up. Put our last one on. I have a hard time with head pins and stuff like that just because I'm cheap. I think if I bought the expensive ones, and they're not like super expensive, but again, I have to repeat this, I am cheap. You get what you pay for. That's what I'm getting. So there you go. These are lovely. So again, you can put a jump ring in there as well. We'll extend it. I'll just show you the other crystal ones I did. If you saw the other video. There's this one. These I did put the jump rings in. So let's show you what that looks like. Like that. Now they're different because these have pinch bails and they're crystals. There's the silver one. So okay, so now let's do our pearl. The pearl's different. The pearl is a different length. Let me just, we may end up having to do it. I'm just going to use my finger method. So you pinch your, whatever you're putting on, make sure your head pin's right flush with it, and then go to your nail. This is not a very accurate way of doing it. There's probably too much there. We'll see. We'll turn it and we'll just clip it. So bring it to the edge of your flush nose, turn, release and turn. And you know what? This worked. So there is a little bit there, but that's not a big deal because this is part of the middle here. So let me just make sure this is flat here, there. And we'll just open this piece up a bit. See if we can get that in there. This was a little tricky to get in. Oh, look at that. First try. So let me put my thumb back there. And we have to be careful not to scratch your pearl. I did not put a jump ring on this section because it's quite low. Now that one fits. This is a bit long, so I am going to cut it shorter. Just pop it off. Here, let me see if I can just... It is a bit finicky working at this section of the... Okay. So a simple way to take a little bit more off is just go a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to take a little smidge off the end and then take my round nose pliers and go to this part at the end here, and I want it there. So just close like that and then come down here and do your 90-degree. That should work so that it's gonna fit inside this little hole here. So grab that. Let me see if I can. It's hooked. Look, it hooked to the wrong spot. Okay, let me see. When I was doing this off camera, I was like holding it close to my chest, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this in the video? Well, we're going to see. So this is, it'll be a lot easier for you to do it. And I felt that rub a bit on the pearl. I hope it didn't do any damage. Let me see. Ah, perfect. So show you. Goes through the hole easily. It's not super. You have to remember too, these are not accurate. So like this one sits quite high and this one sits low. It's weird. Okay, so now we just put our ear wire on, and these are open a bit, so you don't have to, sorry, they're open a bit, so you don't have to. I have gotten some like these where you actually had to cut the loop open, like it wasn't like a fully welded shut, it was just the finish was in the way, so you couldn't get it open. Other than that, if it's a complete closed loop, then just add a jump ring. But just remember, when you're adding a jump ring, it's going to change the orientation of what you're hanging on it. So this hole on the earring is going from front to back. So your next hole has to go from side to side for it to sit flush like that. Otherwise, if this hole was going front to front, it would turn your thing sideways. So all you have to do is add a jump ring. So there are these lovely earrings. How beautiful is that? Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. Ta-da.